Hi everyone, welcome. I'm so excited that you can join me tonight for my Sweetest Peach class. Tonight we're going to be making three cards. If you got my kit, you will have enough to make 6 cards, 2 of each of the 3 designs. But before we get started, I want to share with you some fun, exciting news. Now let me just go ahead and get this set up on my computer so I can also see comments. Now you guys are going to be my guinea pigs tonight too. I think I finally, after all this time, figured out how I can start out like this and move it and it doesn't get real jiggly and you guys don't get a little sick without me moving my camera, but let's hope this works tonight. Okay, but I want to start with, I got 2 things that are coming up that I want to tell you guys about quickly. The first one is tomorrow's the last day to sign up. Sorry, there's some came on my screen. To sign up for my holiday extravaganza. I'm so excited this year. We finally get to have it in person. It will be on September 25th at, hi Belinda, thank you for joining. It will be on September 25th. It's an all-day event from 9 to 5. We are going to have so much fun. We're going to be making things for Halloween, for fall, for Christmas. You're going to be making 16 projects. Your goodie bag is going to include at least 1 stamp set, and the value of that goodie bag is around $50, possibly more. We'll have to wait and see. We're going to have door prizes, and you get lunch and snacks and drinks. But the best part is you get to be with friends. So remember, tomorrow is the last day to sign up for that. Hop over to stampinscrapper.com to get all the details. Also, have you seen this beautiful catalog? Oh my gosh. And you know what's really awesome in here? The designer series paper. And if you're new and you don't understand what designer series paper, it is the beautiful pattern paper that Stampin' Up creates. Well, I know a lot of you guys want all of the paper, but that's a lot to get all of it. So what I do is I created, I'm not the only one, a bunch of demonstrators do this. We do it's called a paper share. So I am doing that. You will get a sample of all the papers. However, the Blackberry, I'm not sure the total name of it, it's Blackberry something, Blackberry Beauty, that's what it is not as of this time available, but if it comes in, you will get that. If not, you are going to get a double set of 2 of the other paper. All the details for that too are on stampinscrapper.com. Now the deadline to sign up for that is August 1st. So if you have any questions though, please feel free to email me and you can get that, do all of that over at stampinscrapper.com. And also, if you want to get a newsletter and find out what else I have going on, sign up for my newsletter. Again, it's stampinscrapper.com. Okay, let's get started with our event, our class tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this. We're going to move it over and see if this works. I practice it, so I hope it does. Okay, hang on. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to take this. I need to flip. Okay, so you're going to see me move. There you saw my cheat sheet. I got to put it in my holder here. Oh, we got it in the holder. We're still live. Yay! Okay, I think we're good to go. You kind of see my stamp sets over here on this side. Okay, so I think it's all looks online. Okay, these are the 3 cards that we're going to be making tonight. I'm just double checking. It's hard to see on my phone what you guys are seeing on your screen. And with Facebook, it's about a 30-second, 15 to 30-second delay. So I'm just making sure everything is set up great so you guys can see it. Okay, so we are going to be making these beautiful cards. We are using the Sweet as a Peach stamp set. And we're also going to be using the peach dies. Now, for the sake of TV, or I should say Facebook, I have already cut out my things, but I am going to stamp all of these, and I have tricks and neat things to share with you on all of these cards. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, like I said, if you have your kit, we're going to start with this card right here. And your kit should look like this. Also, if you got your kit, you got your little treat. This is one thing I do for all of my classes. I put a little treat in. Usually during the summer, you're gonna get a hard candy like this because, of course, chocolate just melts. But I usually give chocolate because who doesn't love chocolate? Hello. But and I always try to coordinate it with the class. So this time I used the paper and I said, have a peachy day. I looked for peach candy, but I couldn't find any. So you guys got Werther's this time. So, okay, let's go ahead and start. I'm going to move this off to the side so you can still see it while we create. Now, today I'm going to show you how to shade. I'm going to show you a fun thing to do with your ribbon on a different card. We are going to just learn lots of goodies. I also had this class in, person last night, and it was a big hit. And I'm missing one piece of my stuff. Where is it? Okay. I am missing my green piece. I know, I stamped it and stuck it in here. Well, I may have to, you may see me cut it out, stamp it and cut it out because it is not in here. Okay, so you will see me cut it out. Let me quick grab my small cutter so I have it, so that I can show you my machine. We'll just set that there. Okay, so what I want to show you though on this is you're going to have your envelope, your card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, and you score it at 4 1/4. Then you're going to have your designer series paper, and this is called You're a Peach, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. You have Mossy Meadow, which is cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. You have another piece of Mossy Meadow at 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. And your white is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Now you do have a long piece like this. That's so you can stamp what you need to. This is your piece. I'm not sure why I have this extra piece in there, but who knows? Probably stuck it in there in case I needed to stamp something. And actually we're going to use, we'll use the long piece. Okay, so let's get started. First thing we're going to do is let's do our stamping first. So we're going to we need this. We're going to need our envelope because we always decorate our envelope, which again, I have this. Oh my goodness. Oh, no, that one's not it. I did have an envelope out for this one. Okay. Oh, you know what? I know where it happened to it last night in class. Ink got on it and I forgot to make another one, but I will show you how we're going to do that. So let's start with our stamping. Okay, you're first going to we're going to do this leaf, the little peaches, and we're going to be using Happy Birthday. Now, if you notice, the Happy Birthday goes across like this. Well, I'm going to show you how you can do it like this. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy, and it makes this stamp set even more versatile. I will say one thing I love about this stamp set is the font. I love this font. So what we're going to do is you're going to make, because in your kit you have enough to make 2 of these. So we're going to I'm going to stamp this out so for enough to make 2 cards. But if you notice, see how there's shading on here? I'm going to show you how to do that. The first one we're going to do is we're going to do our leaves first, since I have to cut that out. And you know what? Oh, up here it is. It's right here. I'm going to need this too. Okay. We're going to start first with Pear Pizzazz. And I'm going to ink this up. And then I'm going to flip it over. And then I'm using Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to take my dauber and just stick it on my finger. And I'm just lightly tapping. Not real heavy. Oh, I don't think that got enough ink on it. Okay, and I'm just going to go like this. I'm just dabbing here and there on this one lightly. Now, I tried to do, at first, the first time I did it, I tried to go along the edges, and that was just too hard for how close the leaves were. And then huff on it because we let it sit there a minute because I was adding ink to it. And voila. I need to add a little more green next time. But one thing I do want you to notice is you need to make sure that you clean your stamp every time before you do this again, because you added dark ink to it. If you put it back in your light ink, you are going to get dark ink in there, and you don't want that. So go ahead and you're going to ink it up again. And I'm going to use my dauber again. And this time I'm going to put it on a little thicker, or heavier, I should say, because I want to get more shading in here. And let's see what this looks like. Now, we are also supposed to be getting storms here, so you might hear some thundering during my class. There, now you got more shading. This is lighter, this is darker. I kind of like how this, where I missed there, I actually kind of like that. I think that's the one I'm going to cut out for my card. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and I am going to close these up. Now, one thing, I know we're going to be using these same colors a lot tonight because we're using 4 colors tonight, but go ahead and close them. Number 1, you don't want them to dry out. And number 2, you don't want your project to accidentally get on here. Trust me, I've done that. Whoops, you know what? I just noticed there's still ink on this one and I don't want anything to get on it. There we go. Okay, so now we want our peaches. Now, I want to see how these are shaded here. I want to show you something on a card, on an envelope. These I just stamped with the pale papaya. I did not add the clips of coral, and so you can see the difference. This is your cards, your projects, do whatever you want, but this is what it looks like with the shading, and I'm going to teach you how to do that too tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get our peaches, and we are going to need pale papaya and clips of coral, and you know what? I didn't stamp my envelope, so I'm going to have to go back and stamp my envelope. So now there's a trick with these. I'm going to do this before I even stamp. I want to show you guys this. Now, to line these up, last night, a lot of the ladies are like, how do we make sure these are lined up? Okay, so you see how this one kind of comes to a point. To me, it looks like a point. That's always going to be on your top right. So that's one thing to remember, top right. Now, when you line up, there's little notches here on the stamp. You're going to line up with the second. See, there's a line here. Move it over to this one. This one goes here, and this one goes on the second. So you're going to line it up here, here, and here. So I'm just going to set it on here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take mine. Oops, I need to turn this a little bit. And I'm going to line it up with this one right here, this one, and then that one. So line up with your ones on your left. So left, left, and see how right here, that's this part right here, these 3 little ones, the edge of your peach is going to go right along the edge of that. And one thing also I want to point out that I'm really happy that Stampin' Up! Did this. So you get to stamp all 3 at the same time, no problem. Well, you also get your die cuts all 3 out at the same time. So you're not having to cut out like this. We're doing 2 cards. You would have to cut out 6 times. That's a lot. But this makes it so easy. And I was telling the girls last night that with the our big stamping machine, our cutting, emboss and cutting machine, you can get everything you need for, we have one card that uses a lot of them on one pass through. So you're only passing through once for each card. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you how I did this. We're going to first ink it up with this. This is the pale papaya. And then I'm going to bring in the Calypso Coral. And I always like to go on the side that has the little white mark on it. That's the side I like to, and I'm just lightly going on this, not real heavy. You can always add ink. It's real hard to take it off. But if you see, like if you ink this up and you're like, oh, I put way too much Calypso Coral on that, you know what? Wipe it off and do it again. Nothing says you can't do that. And if you want to do a test run, that's why you have the grid paper, to do a test run on it. So I'm going to go ahead and do the first one on here to show you how I'm going to line it up. I'm doing the left-hand side ones. And this stamp set is photopolymer, which is really nice because that will give, you can see where to stamp. And see how pretty that is? Look at that. I really like that. So, but because I, put ink on that, I need to, the dark ink, I need to clean it before I get started again. And I always stamp it on here to make, to make sure I got it. And one of mine went flying. Oh my goodness, I'm losing them. Okay, I had 3 here. I did that and one went flying. Well, poo. And you know what I did? I lined it up here so you could see. But I'm going to stamp it over here my next time so that you can see, because we need to cut it out because I lost one. Not sure where it went. But I can cut it out the same time I do my other one, so not a big deal. Okay, so we're going to add some ink. Let's see here. I want to do it on this side. Okay. And stamp it. Okay, so that's all we need for this card. So let me go ahead and clean these. And, oh, you know what? I forgot. Let me do my envelope. So what I had done on my envelope was I took the green. So let me bring that back in so I can show you. You're going to take the green. And, oh, I need to add my dark. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to. And you can put it down or up. This time I had stuck mine up here. And you can put your return address label on the back of your envelope so that you can still have that on there. Oops. Okay. Now we can close this because I'm done with this. We'll do the peach one more time. You're going to see me open and close those a lot tonight. Okay, so we're going to get the peach again. This is the pale papaya. And bring in the Calypso Coral. Okay. Okay, line them up. I hope you don't see my head in there. I'm trying to see with the lights and everything. And there we go. And that is how I decorated my envelope. Shelly always says you don't send out a naked envelope. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut these out so we can use them on our card. Now I have out the mini emboss. Now I'm going to flip this because it likes to slip on my grid paper. So I'm just going to flip that over for a second. Look how compact this is. I love that. This is so compact. And then you just open it up like this. And you will use your base plate. This is number 1. You're going to use number 2 on the bottom. We're going to put this on here, but I'm going to quick grab the dies. Now, one thing, I'm going to move this over just a minute so you can see. One thing that I like to do, because we don't have the magnetic base plate for this yet, So what I like to do is I like to put a piece of the Post-it note tape, and you can get that on Amazon. And I think the first time I used this, I found it at Walmart. So you can get it at other places too. But I just put it on so that way I know it's going to stay in place and I don't have to worry about it moving. Now, one thing is, make sure you can use a piece over and over again, but when it starts to lose its stickiness, make sure you get a different piece because you don't want it moving your die. You want to make sure it's right where you want it. And we'll go ahead and cut this one out too, since I lost my last piece. Okay, and now I'll bring this back in here. We're going to put this in here, and we're going to line this up and stick it in. Run it through. I apologize. I really thought I had these done so that you don't have to watch me do this part. And then fold it up like this. And look at it. This one just sits on my table. So it's always out and I can quick grab it. Oops, there's one of my little pieces. Okay, and then your Post-it note tape comes right off and you have it there. Okay, so and I want to put these back on here right away so that you don't lose them. And again, I'll take this off. Nope, I didn't line those up very well, did I? That's okay, we can still use them. Okay, let's flip this back over now. Oh, here it is. I knew I'd find it as soon as I cut those out, but that's okay because I need to cut the green one out. Here we go, come on little guys. Okay. Okay, so let's get back to this. Where's my little white piece? So what I want to do is I want to stamp my happy birthday. And this is one thing I wanted to show you guys on how to do. Here's my happy birthday, and we want our Calypso Coral. Now for this piece, I'm not going to put these on. I'm not going to adhere it yet. I'm just going to lay it here. So I kind of know where I'm going to put this. So I know where to put my happy birthday. Now, to do your happy birthday, as you can see, I have it up on top of each other. So I did my birthday first, and all you're going to do is you're only going to ink the birthday. So see how I'm lining it up on here with my ink pad? I'm just doing the birthday, and this is where I use my grid paper a lot. Okay, I know I want it like right here, so I can go ahead and stamp and put it up. Now, make sure you clean your stamp again. You want to make sure there's nothing on that birthday, ink on that birthday. Test it on here, make sure it's clean. And you're going to do the same thing with happy. You're going to ink it up just on that, use the edge as your guide. Then you're going to come back over here, line it up so your paper's straight, and you're going to put happy. I put it right there. And that is how you use the happy birthday to do two different things. So I like that little trick because sometimes you don't have room for a long sentiment like this one, you know how it's long. You don't always have room. Now, one thing I also put on here is I put Wink Stella on mine. I like bling. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put Wink Stella on these now because I want to let them dry while I put my rest of my card together. Now, one thing is sometimes with the Calypso Coral, it will bleed just a tiny bit, but I'm actually okay if it bleeds on this because that just blends the colors more. So I'm going to clean it off on my paper like that. Now, I will tell you on the green, it does like to go onto the white, so I'm just making sure I'm staying on the leaves I'm not rubbing it all over. Okay, I was really off on this one, but that's okay. You could still use it. Okay, so now let those dry and let's put our card together. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half and use our bone folder. You want a crisp edge. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you is when you're folding this over, I tried my hardest to get this straight for you. But line up your corners like this, take your finger in the middle and bring it down and then go each way. And that is going to get your paper perfectly lined up. Now we're going to, you know what? I think I did this last night too. I forgot to get out the 2 sentiments that I put on the inside of the card. So I'm going to grab those and I'm going to show you how to line up your cards. I mean your stamps. On your blocks, we're going to use Sweet as a Peach. And what else did I put on the inside? Hope Your Day. Is it this one? Yep. Okay, so for this one, what I do is I take my grid paper and I'm going to line it up, this little guy on my grid paper, and it's straight. The bottom of the letters are all on the bottom. And then I'm going to take, I grabbed too big a block. I'm going to take this and I'm going to line it up with one of my lines. So sometimes I sit there and play with which line I want to line it up with, but then I know it's straight. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm using Sweet as my guide. It's lined up on my line. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to line it up on a line 2. And there we go. Now we have it. So on the inside of my card, what I'm going to do, again, using Calypso Coral. I had tried it with the Pale Papaya, but it's just not quite dark enough. So I switched to the Calypso Coral. And I did the Sweet as a Peach first. And I'm gonna put that right in the center, as close as can be. I mean, I'm eyeballing it. I am not measuring anything. I'm strictly doing eyeball, which for me being OCD about things is a little stretch for me, but it's all good. Okay, so Hope Your Day is, and I'm just kind of centering it again. Hope Your Day is as sweet as a peach. So that's what I put on the inside of the card. Okay, so let's go ahead now and get the rest of our card put together. Now we're going to put your Designer Series paper onto your green. The green is Mossy Meadow. Okay, and then we're going to put our white onto our green. I haven't attached these yet because I'm still letting, the Wicked Stella is definitely dry by now, but I like to do my stamping first usually and then let it dry. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one on my white first. Hi, Pam. Thank you for sharing. Oh, I'm glad you like my card. Okay, now on this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach the green first because I'm going to pop this up and it's actually easier to attach this first. Now you could use glue dots on this because there are a lot of little areas. You could use liquid glue. I'm just using a little bit of the Stampin' Seal on it. And I'm going to put it like this. Okay, now I want to pop this, so I'm going to bring in my dimensionals, and I like to use quite a few dimensionals. Whoops. And when you're using your dimensionals, it just came to mind because this lifted up. I cut the sides out. I cut them and I use them too. I use every little piece of that. Okay. Now I'm going to center this. Oops. Okay, and now I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of each one of the peaches. You could use the mini dimensionals on this, but they are actually big enough that you can just use a regular dimensional. You do whatever one you want to, and you don't even have to pop them up. I like to use the dimensionals a lot on my projects. I just like the different levels. Oops, let's move this one a little bit. I'll move him over a little bit. There we go. Okay, now your ribbon. I use the beautiful Pale Papaya open weave ribbon. And this one I did, whoops, sorry, didn't mean to move the camera. Is that Mossy Meadow? Yes, it is, Pam. Hi, Judy. Thank you for joining. Hi, Vicki. I'm glad you could join me tonight. So these, you can get these. I know demonstrators make these. You can get these also online from Amazon and other websites. Someone had made this one, so I've had this forever. It's just nails in the bottom. But so one thing though I do like to do, I forgot to grab, I like to use, because it moves pretty easy on this, I put it on my silicone craft sheet and it doesn't move as easy, so it's easier to use. I did a double bow, so I'm going to wrap it around once, twice. I'm going to come in here. I did make these a little long. I'm not quite sure why. Well, I wonder if I have enough ribbon here for triple bow. Let's try a triple. 1, 2, 3. I do. I think I do. I think I do. Let's try it. Oh, it's a little tight, but we can make it work, I think. Let's try. I did. I made it work. Yay! This one I made a triple bow. And then you pull it tight. You want to make sure that's tight. And then you just lift it up. Now this one, I'm going to have it go this way. So I'm just going to leave them out that way. And I'll show you another trick when I do some other cards tonight. And I just kind of fluff it, make it look pretty. And this one, I use a glue dot on. Now I am going to, because I'm going to cut these kind of short, and I'm going to go ahead and trim them now. Usually I do not trim these until I get them on the card, because I want to know exactly where I want the tails to end. So glue dot. Oh, and this is another trick. Take a piece of ribbon, wrap it around your glue dots, and you will know exactly where your last piece is and where you're at. And it also helps hold it on together that it doesn't unravel. And there you go. And that's your first card. Yay! Okay, I'm going to leave these up here because knowing me tonight, I'm probably going to need them. Okay, so there's our first card. And here's our envelope with it. Okay, so let's go to our next card. Okay, I'm going to set this right there. That'll work. Okay, the next card we are going to be making, it is going to have this kit. And it is, I call this my scalloped birthday card. I also wanted to let you know, where did I just do that? The first card, I got my inspiration for this card by Sharon Armstrong made one like this online. I just changed it up a little bit. So I wanted to give her credit for, she's the one that came up with the original idea for that card. Okay, now this card, I saw, I was looking around for these dies. These are the scalp contour dies. And I saw that someone used that on there, and I thought, well, that's kind of cool. So I came up with that for this card. So let's put this here. I have too many cards laying around. So there we go. I'm going to put that one right there. And this is what the envelope will look like. Now this one, I don't have anything that I'm cutting out on this one. It is only stamping. I call these kind of cards my easy peasy lemon squeezy cards. Okay, so because we don't have any stamping, I don't remember if I did what on the inside. I had done the same as what I did before on here when I did this. I'm not going to go ahead and do it again so you guys can watch me, but that's what I put on the inside of it if you want to do that. But I will show you how to do the first part. So I'm going to go ahead. Again, this is 8.5 by 5.5 by 8.5, and you score it at 4 1/4. And then our mossy meadow is at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I am not going to put down my pale papaya yet. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on here. Oh, I do want to show you another trick of mine. Some of you already know this. Thank you, Judy. I'm glad you like the card. To line these up, because I know some people have a hard time trying to figure out how do I make sure it's even, it's centered. Okay, so if you make sure that this side, and this side all have the same amount of white showing, and that looks good, put your finger here, drop it, and press it down, and you're going to have your card centered, and you're ready to go. So I'm going to put that off to the side because I want to show you how to do this part. So what you're going to do on this is, the first thing you want to do is you want to put your green onto your designer series paper. Now the green is 3/4 by 5.5 before I cut it, and then I went ahead and used the die to cut it. This one, the designer series paper, was 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Now you might have noticed I said 5 1/4 on this one, 5.5 on this one. There is a reason why, and I'll show you here. First thing I did was I put a little bit of adhesive all the way around the bottom, and I laid it down like this. Now, see where they dip? So I want to line up where they dip. Now, I am lifting this up at an angle. I don't want to put it flat yet because I don't want it to adhere yet. So I'm going to lay it like this, and I'm going to get it to where the dips are at the same spot, and they're even all the way across. That looks good. And you can have a gap this size, you can have a tiny gap like this, you can have a big gap like that, whatever you want. This is your card. You make it the way you want to. I was kind of looking, I was playing like that. I'm going to try this. I haven't made one. That kind of looked cool when I just brought it up like that. Let's do this. We're going to do it a little different. Okay, so then you press it down. But see this little spot here? Well, we're going to have to trim that off because we don't want that on. So we'll go ahead and cut that off. Oops. And it does have a little bit of glue on it, so it might stick to your scissors. Just pull it off. And if you get glue on your scissors, the best thing to get it off are little alcohol wipes. I'm not sure what they call them. I get them in the pharmacy area. I don't even know what they call them. They're just alcohol, little pieces of alcohol wipes. Okay, so I'm not going to adhere this yet. I'm just going to lay it right here on my paper because I'm going to stamp my happy birthday. Now, the reason I'm not laying it down, I'm not adhering this yet is, number one, I need to, in case I make a mistake, I want to be able to flip this over and use the other side. Let me move this up a little bit so you can see. So that is why I don't adhere it. And I might not like the placement of it or anything, so I just wait. Okay, and what I did on my card, I did the second dip. I call them dips, so I don't know if there's a technical term for it, but I call it dips. And I'm going to line it up again. That looks good. Press and lift. I like it. So now I can adhere that. But first, remember, close your ink pad, wipe off your stamp, because you don't want anything touching, the ink to touch anything and get on your project. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this. I'm going to line it up. Again, see, I'm lifting it up until I get it totally lined up because I don't want it to adhere until I get it right where I want it. And I just laid it down. I'm happy with it. So now I'll press it down. I kind of like the looks of that being closer. And then I'm going to adhere this to my mossy metal. Again, I'm going to use my little trick, make sure they're all three the same. Hold it here, drop it. Let's see, let's move it just a little. There we go, and down. Okay, now I'm using the Elegant Faceted Gems, and I'm just gonna put 3 of them up here. I had seen this on a card again online, and I thought, gosh, I haven't done that in so long. So I thought that would be great. Whoops, on this card. And I'm using the small clear ones in the Faceted Gems. And there you go. Wasn't that an easy peasy lemon squeezy card? I love it. And I did my peach. Now I will show you how to do the shading on this and everything on the next card because we'll be making it. But I just put that on my envelope. So we have that one. So let's get going on our last card. Okay, this is a fun card. Oh my goodness. So I don't know, I don't think I wrote on here. I saw this layout online. I don't remember where because I'm always on Pinterest or Facebook or just Googling the stamp set. I do want to tell you that if you're looking for different ideas, don't just go onto Pinterest. Go onto Google and put in like this one, Stampin' Up Sweet as a Peach. And you're going to get a lot more samples of what cards, because not everybody is on Pinterest or they don't share their cards. They may be on there and they are looking for ideas, but they don't post the cards they make. But they may put them on their Facebook page and it shows up on Google. So that's another great resource to get ideas. Okay, so this is the card we're going to make. So here's the envelope. Again, I did the peach. Look at how cute this is. It's a pocket, and then watch. You open it up, and it says happy birthday. How cute is that? And it just slides right back in there. Isn't that adorable? I love this. My ladies last night really enjoyed this card too. So let's go ahead and get our products out. And I think I got everything. Hopefully I have everything stamped out so you guys don't have to watch me cut again. Okay, so we're gonna need one of these. This is a lot of layering. It is not a lot, you're gonna do your stamping, and all of my, this long piece was supposed to go on this one. I had this set up so that everything you needed went across this. So you did 2 of the branches, you did 2 of these. So the ones that at home that are doing this, you're gonna do 2 of these like this. You're gonna do 2 of these at the bottom here. You're gonna do 2 of these at the top here, and then your 2 flowers. And you will get everything on there. And when you run it through your machine, you can get all of these cut out in 2 sweeps through your machine. So just to let you know that little trick, I tried to make it as easy as I could for you guys. So here I have my envelope, and here is this. And you know what? I'm gonna need more, because I need to show you on this how to stamp that stuff. Let me grab some smaller pieces here I can use to show you. Okay, so this is our piece that we're going to use for our card, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my stamping first. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the green again. For some of you that came in early, I will show you how I did it. I am using Pear Pizzazz and Mossy Meadow, but what I'm going to quick do is do my Wink of Stella, because this can dry while I'm putting this together. I'm not sure if everyone heard with the green, you want to make sure you're just doing the leaves, because the green likes to bleed onto the white. The first time I did it, I was like, oh goodness. And so I actually ended up redoing it because my green kind of went everywhere. So you want to, do that. And then on this, It blends a little bit, it bleeds a little bit, but I'm okay with that because it helps me blend the two colors together. So I'm okay that it's doing that when I color the Wink of Stella. I did put Wink of Stella on all of these because I just like bling. And it just gives it a sparkle. And I did see someone do, and I haven't tried it yet, they took Versamark. So they like stamped their peach, and they took Versamark and put it down and put clear embossing powder on top of it. And it gave such a sparkle to it. It was really pretty, but I keep forgetting to try it. Okay, so those are drying while we stamp. So on the green here, we're gonna start with the light Pear Pizzazz. I'm gonna ink that up. Then I'm gonna get out my Mossy Metal. And I'm gonna just tap it. And I'm just adding color. There's no rhyme or reason to my tapping. I'm just going wherever. No, like I said, no rhyme or reason on that one. Actually, I'll leave these two out because I'm going to use them right away. Huff on it because you just, how much cut, had it sitting here and you were working on it. So I always try to huff. And if you do it pretty fast, you don't have to always. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the other green one. Again, I'll bring in my Pear Pizzazz because I want that first. And then I'm going to bring in my Mossy Meadow. Now on my Pear Pizzazz, this is my bottom. The little guy goes on the bottom. So I did my stem and I went along the bottom and around the bottom of the top leaf. Let's stamp this quick. I'm just going to stamp it here so you guys can see. And there you go with the leaf. Another good color to do with for the leaves is to use the Granny Apple Green is really pretty with the Mossy Meadow. That also gives you really pretty color too. You can see on this one, I did a little bit darker on the green than I did this one. You could easily add more. You can always do it again and add more or less, whichever one you want to. And you don't have to either. I had some ladies last night that did not use the shading. They were very happy with it just stamped. And I'm like, it's your card. You do what you want. Okay, the peach. Let me show you how to do the peach. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, the big peach. Here we go. And I'm actually going to get my envelope out so I can stamp on it. There we go. You are going to use Calypso Coral and Pale Papaya. Now, we're going to start, just move these off, put these up a little bit. Okay. So you're going to start with your Pale Papaya and get that. You can see where a lot of people were stamping or inking up their stuff yesterday. And then you're going to come in with your Calypso Coral and you're going to use your sponge dauber. Now, again with this one, I'm going to go on the outside here and I'm lightly doing it. And then I'm lightly going even lighter to go on the inside. And then I'm going around the edge here. That looks good. Okay. And then I'm going to huff on it. And there you go. Now on this one, you can see I didn't do as much red as I did on that one. But I did want to show you on this one, because on this peach, oh shoot, I was going to put it on my envelope. Let me quick do that. And I'll do one purposely and show you what I wanted to show you to fix. So I'm going to do this one a little bit lighter on purpose. Okay. I'm going to take this one and I'm not going to do this one quite as dark on the left-hand side, and I'll show you why. Okay. Now, could be my envelope. And I'm going to stamp it right here. Okay, so see how right here it did not get totally inked because this is a distinctive stamp. So that means it's automatically going to have the different shadings. What you can do is, I always check on here how much ink I have. And you can lightly go like this and fill it in. See how I'm filling it in? And so you can just take your dauber, and remember, you can always add ink. It's hard to take it off, but you can add ink to it and it's going to fill it in. So you can do that. And then with your, on my thing, I'm going to show you, I'll go ahead and grab my Granny Apple Green so you can see the difference. That's really pretty too with this sleeve. So I'm going to use Granny Apple Green and the Mossy Meadow on this sleeve. And where'd he go? Here he is. So you can see the difference. So here is the Granny Apple Green first. Then I'm going to bring in the Mossy Meadow. I always make my stem darker. I don't know why. And then I'm going to go around the bottom of it. And then I'm doing the bottom of the top leaf. A little bit more. There we go. Okay. Now you're going to put this stem part right here. And I'm going to make my leaf go right along the top there. So it's going to kind of go like this. And there's the green. So it's a little different. I think I put a little too much Mossy Meadow on that one. So you didn't see the green as much. But I'll do one here. And it's quick. And you can play. This is what's fun. It's just play with your colors and see what you want to do. Okay, I didn't put as much Mossy Meadow on this one. And then see the difference. It's a brighter green, where this one is the Pear Pizzazz, and that's the Granny Apple Green. So it's really what color you want. I didn't try the Oud Olive. I think the Oud Olive and the Mossy Meadow might not, you might not have as much difference in it. The shading might not show up as much if you did the Oud Olive with it, but you could definitely try it. Hi, Carol. Thank you for joining. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this together. I think that's all we needed to stamp. Oh, the flowers. I wanted to stamp the flowers to show you. Okay, so let's get out our other color. I just have stamp sets or ink pads everywhere. I love it. Love it to love it, love it. I love to try different colors. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with our pale papaya again. Now, on this one, what you want to do is you want to pick a side that you want to color. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do mine. I like to do mine on the right. So I'm just going to blend a little bit on the right. And I'm just going to bring it in. There we go. Puff on it. And there you go. So that one I kind of went over more than I did on these. Now they will lighten up as they sit. This one, see how these lightened up a little bit as they were sitting here. So let's go ahead and close that. And clean your stamps. And by the magic of video, those are already cut out for you. And then one more thing to stamp on the inside of your birthday card, we're going to stamp Happy Birthday. We're going to put Happy Birthday right there. So we're going to use, again, the Calypso Coral and get out my Happy Birthday. I'm going to line this up on my grid paper. And one thing, when you're folding your paper, see how I have the mountain right here and the valley is on the outside? It is already stretched, so you want to make sure your mountain is on the inside. I like to stamp before I burnish because it lays flatter for me. So it's easier to make sure I get a good ink. So I'm going to go ahead and put this. Oh, that looks good about right there. There's no, I didn't put it up, down. I just kind of stuck it in the middle. You can put it up higher you want. You can do whatever you want. One thing is, do not, when you're decorating envelopes, do not, oops, I just dropped stuff everywhere. Do not put happy birthday on the outside of your envelopes, because that is when a lot of people will steal your envelopes because they think that there are gift cards in there. So don't do that. So you're going to go ahead. Now our ink dries in about 10 seconds. So you can go ahead and then put your finger here, bring it down, go this way, and then get out your bone folder. Okay, I need to take a drink. Okay, stamping is done. So let's put this thing together. Now, this one, we're going to do our card. We're going to do this part first. So what you're going to need is, this is balmy blue. This is at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's just one sheet. Your designer series paper is at 4 by 5 1/4. And we're just going to adhere this on here. Okay, now one thing you want to watch when you are cutting your paper, and if it has a direction on it, you want to pay attention. So I wanted them all to go this way. So I thought, oh great, that's great. Well, I wasn't paying attention and I cut my paper wrong. So this one is going sideways. So you can do it straight up and down. You can do it sideways. You get two different looks. So I prefer the up and down, so I'm going to make this one up and down. Everyone that got a kit got theirs up and down. It was just on my piece that I messed up. But hey, there's no mess up. No one knows it was supposed to go up and down instead of across. And if you do something, it's always an embellishment opportunity. Let's go ahead and adhere this. Now, when you do adhere your piece on here, make sure, like I just moved it, that you do, oops, you line up your edge here. You want this all the way up. Because, you know, we're always wanting to put an edge all the way around so you can see the blue, but we don't want that. We want this to be lined up. Then you're going to take this, and this is an important part. I'm going to use liquid glue for this because I feel this is a little too wide. You're going to just put adhesive on this side and this side. Do not put adhesive here. Now, yesterday, one of my lovely ladies kind of forgot about that, and she didn't go all the way up here, but hers went, like, she put here. Don't put it there. It worked. Her card worked. It was fine. But it's harder to get your card into the pocket that way. And then you're going to line this up all the way in the corner because you want your blues to match up. So and then with the liquid glue too, you can move it a little bit and get it exactly where you want it, which I like. There you go. So then we got that. Because I use the liquid glue, I'm going to move it off to the side so that it dries. And I'm going to work on this part now. Let me quick check I got the stamps, but waiting for the dies. Oh, Carol, you will love the dies once they come, but you can definitely, these are easy, like the flowers and this one and the other leaf are very easy to fussy cut. So you could go ahead and definitely use your stamp set. And there are some cards like what I did on here where you can definitely just make it like this on your card. So you could still use it, but you're going to love the dies when they do come in. Oh, thank you. My tip. I'm glad. I love giving tips. I hope you guys enjoy getting them. So what I did was use the opposite side of the paper that I used on this card. I used the opposite side on this card. Now, I am a person that I do like the thinner color around the edges. So you will see a lot of my cards will have the thinner edges, like this is the thicker. I do like the thinner side, so you will see that a lot on mine. So we're gonna go ahead then and adhere this to your white card. Now, here's another trick. Make sure you lift it up and that you are putting, that this is on the bottom and then this goes on the top so that you don't stick it to the wrong side. I have done that many times. And adhere that. Now you're going to take your white piece. Oh, I didn't tell you the sizes. On this little blue piece, it is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. And this piece is 3 by 4. Your white piece here is 2 1/4, balmy blue is 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. And your white for this is 1 3/4 by 2 7/8. So go ahead and adhere the white. And I cut the white so it goes, it's not exact, but I try to get it as close as I could. So it's on the inside of the little stitch lines. And then we're just going to put this on flat. I did not pop anything on this because, number one, there are a lot of layers to this card. So I didn't want it to get too thick that you couldn't mail it. And don't forget, in August, the postal rates go up. So, which cut. Now, on this one, I'm going to put a glue dot on the back as soon as I find my glue dots back. Here we go. I'm going to put a glue dot right here on my peach, on my big peach. Oops, come on, stick. There we go. Now, most people will put this on the front like this. I'm just a person, I don't care for it that way. So I like to stick mine like this. I put it behind here like that. And I have my leaf going kind of on the front of this. So I put a little glue dot there and you can just hook it right there on there. And then I'm just going to sit this here. I don't want to adhere this yet. You're going to put this in here like this to get an idea, okay, that you like it, that's where you want it, kind of picture in your head where you had it. And then, because I'm going to slide this under there, I'm going to use liquid glue on this one. Just because sometimes when I use my tape, it will stick, but the liquid glue will move a little bit, so it doesn't stick while I'm trying to put it in here. Now, I went to a scrapbook weekend last weekend, and I forgot these little buggers. I don't know what I did without them. I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed those. Okay, I kind of want to, that looks good. So I'm going to press it down, and then I'm going to lift this off. Okay, so now I have it on. Now I can go ahead and put on my peach. Now, if you notice, I have this one. I only put a little bit of adhesive here and a little bit of adhesive here. I don't want it on the tips because I'm going to stick my flowers under there. So I just put a little bit near the bottom. And I'm going to put that here. And I kind of did it at an angle. I wanted to cover the white corner right here. That looks good. Again, I'm laying it here. I'm not pressing it down. I'm just laying it there. And I'm going to go ahead. And you know what I'm going to do? I am going to use a glue dot. And the reason why is, glue dots are very thin. We all know that. But it gives it just a little bit of a lift. And I want that for the flowers. So I'm just going to put, whoops, stay on. There we go. So the little one goes right here. And then we have the big one up here. And then we have this one right here. So now I'll press those down. Now I can press this down. Okay, and then everybody got a big one and 2 little ones per card. So your big one is going to go, these are rhinestones. That's going to go on your medium. These are the medium rhinestones. There are rhinestones that are bigger than this, but I use the medium and the little. The medium's going to go on the bigger flower, and your two little ones are going to go on your two small ones. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So now that part is done, but it's missing something. What are we missing? We're missing our bow. Well, I have something cool to show you with your ribbon. And I have to say, I did not come up with this. My very dear and wonderful friend, Sherry Waite, did. We were crafting one night. We like to do that. We Zoom each, or either Zoom or whatever. Sometimes FaceTime, whatever we use, but we do craft nights. She lives in Texas and I'm in Ohio, so we can't get together and craft, but we do that once, and it's so fun. But she was playing with this ribbon. This is the Pale Papaya open weave ribbon, and she did a card, and it looked like, her ribbon looked like that, and I'm like, how did you do that with your ribbon? See, look, isn't that fun? And you have the thinner tails. What she did was she took her ribbon and literally cut it in half like this. And she just cut it up all the way. Oops. Now she's better. She can just go like this and cut it real. I never get it straight and it drives me nuts. So I do mine like this. I do it the slow way. There we go. And then I'm going to bring in my mat, and I'm going to bring in my bow maker. So I'm going to take them like I would my normal ribbon. I'm just going to put them together like this. Make sure they're straight and flat. You want to keep them flat just like you would your ribbon. And you're going to take it, and this one was a double bow. So I'm going to do it like that and tie it like I always do. Oops. Now, it is a little more tricky to tie it this way, but it is so cool, the look of the bow when you're done. Sometimes when my nails are too long too, that makes it more difficult. And then you're going to tie it real tight again. And now, this is the trick I wanted to show you with the tails. I grab it in the middle here, I lift it up, and you pull it down like this. So now I'm going to use a glue dot. Now remember how I told you I don't tie, trim the bows until I put it on my card, because I want to make sure that I can tell how long I want them. Because sometimes if I do it ahead of time, I cut them and they're too long, they're too short. Usually it's too short, and then I get frustrated because I have to make another bow. So what I do with these is I just grab them, because they will not stay totally down. Like this one's going here. And that's, to me, it's kind of fun. Like this one tucked in behind the flowers. I'm going to pull it down. If I can grab them all tonight. Make sure I'm up so you can see. And I'm just going to say, that looks good. Clip. And we're done. And then I just kind of spread them out. Like that. And there you go. And then you have this card in here. Isn't that cool? Oh, thank you, Belinda. You are so sweet. And she does do wonderful work. I will agree with you on that. Okay. It's so funny that Sherry and I have been friends for, gosh, I don't remember how many years ago. We met 4 or 5 years ago. And we had never met each other in person until 2 years ago. And it's so funny because both of our husbands went, oh my gosh, they're so much alike. Their mannerisms are only alike. And I'm like, yeah, we are a lot alike. But she is, I would love to be like her. She is a neat, neat lady. Okay, so these are the cards we made tonight. But I do have a couple other projects that I want to show you. Whoops, as I drop these on the floor, let me grab them quick. Everything I made tonight, I threw on the floor. We made this one, and that one, and that one. Oh, nope, here are the ones that we made tonight. Those were my extras. Okay. So here we go, because I made the cards with them. So there's the card with that one, and here's the card with this one. So those were the projects that we made tonight. But I want to show you a couple other things that I've made with this suite that I think you might enjoy seeing before I get off here. Pick these up. I have a hot mess laying around here today. Okay, now this is a really fun card. This one I did for a blog hop, and this was my envelope. So this is called the accordion fold card. Now I've never made one like this before this, but these are so fun. This is the pale papaya ribbon too. I don't remember. I know it's pale papaya, but I don't remember the whole name of the ribbon. And you slide that off, and then you open it up like this, and it's happy birthday. So it goes like that. And these are all pieces of paper from the designer series paper. And this is one that you can really see the difference. This is without the shading. This is with the shading. Thank you, Judy. So you can see the difference in them. I didn't do any shading on the peaches or the leaves on this one. So that was one of the projects I made with this suite. And then I made this one. This I think I did this for, I don't remember if I did what I did this for. I don't think it was a blog hop. But what I did was I went ahead and I made this. It is called a corner fold card, which is so fun to make. You just have to be careful with your cuts. But I do have a video on this on my YouTube channel and on my blog on how to make this card. But what I did was I also made it a gift card holder, because right here you can slide in a gift card. So you're wrapping your card all in one, and then your gift card goes right there. So this is a fun card too. And then this I showed a little bit earlier, but with each of my classes, you always get a treat. And then with summer, I usually try not to do chocolate, but this time I did the Werther's Original. But I try to coordinate them with the class that we're having. So I have a peachy day with the designer series paper. And then this is one of our boxes that we have in our new catalog. And so I made this little box, and look at the little jar that goes in this, that is part of the suite, fits perfect in there. And then you just put your box lid, and voila, you have a cute little gift. Now, one thing I do want to tell you about these are plastic. Do not put hot food in them. They're going to melt. Do not put them in your dishwasher. They're going to melt. Do not leave them outside in the sun. They're going to melt. You can, what I think would be really cute with these would be to put like jelly beans or M&Ms or something like that in these. I think that would be really, really cute. So I have that project there that I made with this suite too. Now, also, another wonderful friend of mine, Mary Nab, has done, she was playing with this set one day, and she came up with to make different fruit with this stamp set. So I was just playing a little bit. I didn't get a chance to really play with a lot of my products, new products yet, because our daughter just got married. Gosh, it'll be 3 weeks yesterday that she got married. So we were all in wedding mode there. But she came up with, and I made this one. It's a plum. I used Calypso Coral and Cherry Cobbler on this one to make a plum. And then you can also use these, and you can use Misty Moonlight and Night of Navy for blueberries. You can use Real Red and Cherry Cobbler for cherries. Also this is a red plum for a purple plum, or they call black plum. You could use Gorgeous Grape and Blackberry Bliss. So this isn't just limited to peaches. You can use this for lots of different fruits, lots of different projects. So this is a very versatile stamp set. Well, I hope you enjoyed my cards tonight, and I appreciate you guys stopping in and joining me. Let me lay these out one more time. And don't forget, I have my deadline for my holiday extravaganza is tomorrow. And for my paper share, the deadline is on Saturday. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. You guys have a great night. Thank you, and there you go. Bye-bye.